Hey guys, welcome back to another AI video, and in this video we're gonna learn how to place a transparent PNG image on top of a background of your liking in ComfyUI. Now, one of you guys asked in the comment sections whether it were possible to place a transparent image onto a background of your own choice. Now, if you want to learn how to extract a subject from a background, I have already made a video on that. It's linked on my YouTube channel. But today we're gonna learn when you have extracted that subject from the background, if how you can place that subject on a background of your own liking and how you can merge those images together and composite them. So let's dive it right into our ComfyUI workspace. Okay, so now I am in my ComfyUI workspace. Let's quickly bring in the images we want to composite together. So firstly, I'm gonna bring in the image of the subject I want to place on a random background. So in this case, I have an image of this couple over here I found online. So we're gonna remove the white background from behind the couple, and then we're gonna place it on a background of our own liking. So for the background, let's select this background over here. Now, if you can see over here, the subject and the background, both image size are of different resolutions or aspect ratio. And we can select where in this background we want to place our subjects in. I'm going to talk more about that later in the video. So first things first, let's quickly bring this image over here, and we're going to remove the background from behind the couple. So we're going to select a node. If you don't know anything about this node, you can watch my previous video. I explained this node in detail. Then we're gonna preview the preview image, and I'm gonna quickly suppress these nodes. Let's Q and see. Let's suppress this as well, and let's Q and see. As you can see, we have successfully separated the couple from the background. Now, what we need to do is we need to combine this image and this image. I will want to place this image on top of this image. Now, in order to do that, I'm going to use a node suite called Masquerade. So this node suite over here, Masquerade nodes. If you don't have this, you can go to your ComfyUI manager, install custom nodes. You can search for Masquerade, and here you can just click on install button over here. If you haven't installed, it will show an install button, and you can restart your ComfyUI workspace, and then you will be able to see this node suite. Now the node that we're going to be using is called paste image by mask. So paste image by mask. Now this node has multiple inputs, and the first one is the image base, and that will be our background image. So we're going to just pick our background image and we're going to place it here in the image base. And the second one is the image to paste, and we want to paste this image on top of our background. So we're just gonna pick this image and put it in there. Now the third input is the mask, and that will specifically define where in this background this image will be placed. So we can draw a mask for that. Now I'm going to quickly duplicate this node over here. Now you don't need to specifically duplicate this node to create a mask on. You can create a mask on any image of your choice, but in this case, it will be easier to draw a mask on wherever you want to place your characters. So I'm gonna right click and open it in mask editor, and I'm gonna just increase the thickness of my brush, and I want to place the characters right in the center. So I'm gonna draw a mask here. I'm gonna place it here in the center. Once you have drawn the mask, you can click on save to node, and now we have a mask of where we want to place our characters. And this input is an image input, so we're going to use a node called mask to image, and we're just gonna put it in here, and then we're gonna input this mask over here. Now let's see the result. I'm gonna preview the result over here and make sure nothing else is running. I'm gonna queue. And as you can see over here, it has placed the image in the background where we made our mask. Now there are different, as you can see, the image is stretched a bit horizontally, and there are different resize behavior you can select from here. So let's see how keep ratio fill works. Now, as you can see, it has kept the original proportions and it has filled the entire space. Now, this is much better. You can also play around with other options, For example, the source size, it will probably pick the original size. Yeah. So as you can see now, this has tried to pick the original image and it is clipped on both sides because of our mask. As you can see, we do the mask over here. Now we're gonna keep ratio fill and let's keep it again. Now this is really good. Now we're gonna encode this image. So we're gonna select VA encode and we're gonna pass it through this case sampler over here. So let's bring these ahead over here, and we're also gonna need the positive and negative prompts as well. So let's bring those over here, and I'm gonna remove the bypass from these. Okay, now you need to input the VA over here as well. Let's put in the VA, and we're gonna paste the latent image over here. Next, you can define the positive prompt. You can define the end result that you're trying to achieve with this image. In this case, I'm gonna write a couple standing in a field. We're also gonna add our negative prompts over here. So any distortion, we don't want that. You can add as many negative prompts as you want, but I'm just gonna move on for the sake of this tutorial. And if you can see over here, I have set the control after generate to fixed, and this denoise slider, let's crank it up. I want to show you what this does. For this slider, you want to keep this to a really low number. So I'm gonna keep it to 0.1, let's say. The higher the value of this denoise slider, the more the AI is gonna take the creative liberty of changing the art style. So you don't want a really high number. You can probably go with anywhere from 0.1 to 0.3. That will keep the original image intact, but anything higher than that, the art style will change. Okay, now let's make sure everything is in place and let's generate the image and see the results. Now, as you can see over here, we have the final image that the AI has generated. So these characters are now a bit more blended in the background. Now, if we want to apply some compositing effects on that, if we want to add some sort of bloom or some stuff like that to make them blend in more in the background, ComfyUI has some tools for that. Now, ComfyUI has a lot of image pre-processing tools. So if we go to image and pre-processing and post-processing, we see we have some tools to do compositing and stuff. In order to create a bloom effect, we want to create a sort of color gradient that we want to apply on the top of this image. So let's import a node called image generate gradient. And how this node works is that these are the RGB values separated by comma, and this is the position. Now, if this direction right now is set to horizontal, let's generate a gradient and see what it looks like. Preview image. Now, as you can see that it has applied, and now 0 is the leftmost side and 75 is around this area. So on 75, it has applied only blue, the red and green values are 0. After that, so this is how you can generate a value. You just need to know the RGB values of different numbers. We're gonna set it to vertical, and then I'm gonna have fully white color on the topmost part, and then we're just gonna remove these lights and we're gonna go to 100, like all the way down on this image, and we're gonna set these values to 0. So now it's a gradient from white to black. Let's generate and see. Now, as you can see, it has applied a nice gradient over here. Now we're gonna place this gradient on top of our image over here, and we're gonna sort of composite these together. So for that, we're gonna use another node called image blend. And here you need to provide two images. So we're gonna take this gradient and we're gonna take this image over here, and we're just gonna blend them together, and we're gonna preview the result. And now the blend mode is set to normal. Let's for people in the sort of art and graphic design industry, you might be well familiar with these different blend modes. So let's see screen and cue it. As you can see, it has applied the screen blend mode here on top of this image. You can change different blend modes as well, overlay, and you can also change the tolerance of these images. Okay, so now I have edit screen with a tolerance of, let's go with 0.2. And now we have this image over here. Now we want to pass it through a K-sampler again. And let's add another K-sampler. Actually, we're just going to duplicate this one and bring it here, remove the bypass, and let's go with 0.2 this time. And we're gonna enter the same prompts over here. So the positive and negative prompts are gonna stay the same. For the latent image, we're gonna encode this image and we're gonna pass it in here. And for the model, we're gonna connect this node from here, VAE decode, and let's see the result. We're gonna go with preview image. We're gonna add VAE to both of these nodes as well. Add this VAE over here as well. Okay, so let's choose it and see the results. So now we're passing this image with the gradient applied through stable diffusion again to sort of composite everything together, and we're gonna wait for the results. Okay, so now as you can see, we have successfully generated the final image. Now, of course, you can play around with different settings. You can generate different kinds of gradients using different post-processing nodes for the images. And you can play around with this and see what results you end up with. And then you can add a save image node over here, and that will save the image in your ComfyUI output directly. So I hope this video was helpful to you guys, and if you have any other questions, feel free to ask them down in the comment section below or reach me out to any of the social media platforms. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.